Hi there, welcome back. We are going to make this beautiful wooden platter into an even more beautiful wooden platter using inspiration from these coasters. Now we will be showing you how to make the coasters in another video. A little sneaky preview there. So this is just a standard round wooden tray that we're going to paint using some white acrylic paint. So before I go any further, bits of the video have been sped up because, you don't need to sit and watch me painting something for 10 minutes. So this is a sped up part now, and all I've done is got squidged some of the paint out into a little container, mixed it up. You can add a little bit of water if you want because the paint's quite thick. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of brush marks on it. So do your best to try and smooth those out as best as you can. I've got to admit something. With hindsight, I probably would have preferred to have sprayed the tray with white spray paint. If you decide you're going to do that rather than go down the acrylic painting route like I've done here, then please do it in a well ventilated area or work outside and do it outside. Make sure as well you wear a respirator mask if you're going to use spray paints. So I've got a wider flat brush here and it's just dry, and I'm just putting it over the surface of the tray, just trying to smooth out all of those brush strokes. Getting quite a sort of whimsical feathered look to this now, which is quite nice actually. Quite easy on the eye, as it were. You can leave it like that if you want to, and then you could proceed with whatever you were going to make in the way of your design on this wooden platter. Now I'm calling it a platter. You could adapt it into a tray, totally up to you. You could have it so it doesn't have anything on it at all and just have it on a shelf or a window ledge as a nice piece of artwork. So we've done all around the top of it. We've done around the sides. Going to do the base. And again, a little sped up version. I just poured some out in the end and went over various times with that long flat brush. If you prefer to use a sponge, you can always sponge it on, totally up to you. Now, as you can see, it's completely dried. I have given it another coat. I did do that. And although it didn't soak up the paint a lot, it still required the 2 coats. Obviously, if you're going to use a spray paint, you probably only need to use 1, maybe 2 coats maximum. So the coasters I showed you were actually made using decoupage technique, which we've used some really beautiful paper napkins for. Now all I've done is I've separated apart. They were 3-ply paper napkins, so I've taken just the top thin layer which has got the print on it, and at this point what you can see is this is a time lapse of me deciding what I'm going to put where. I decided in the end not to add in the pale pink roses napkin and just stick with the blue because I thought there's already quite a lot going on here. I just didn't want to add in the pink as well. The central part, all those lovely, beautiful, vibrant coloured flowers, were from another napkin. As I say, I'll show you more of those when we do the coaster, the video showing you how to make the decoupage coasters. Apologies, I got a very, very busy working space area, a bit cramped at the moment, having a bit of a change round of things, and space is, should we just say space is a bit of a premium at the moment. So just applying some watered down PVA glue, so it's just clear PVA glue, craft glue, a little bit of water, and mix it up well, and then just lift up the piece of napkin, put down some of the water glue mix, just using a little paintbrush there, and then apply your piece of napkin with the print on or the design on where you want to put it. Now you don't have to cut them up, you could just find something that you like, cut round the central piece, or you can go round and wet round the edges, just using some water and a little fine paintbrush, and then very carefully tear them. Now I do prefer the tearing technique because to me it looks a lot more natural, but these napkins they've got a lot of design very close to each other, and it was quite difficult not to get the whole napkin completely wet and then find that maybe, I was wasting parts of it because they were getting wet and I didn't want them to be wet, and so on. Anyway, you'll see what I mean, or you can probably understand what I mean if you've ever done this technique yourself. By the way, if you've joined us in the live chat today, the premiere, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you've seen some of our videos before. If not, why not like, share, subscribe, hit the notification all button, give us a thumbs up, and you know, every Sunday at the moment on 5 p.m. UK time, we upload a video. Usually how-to videos, the odd Temu haul or craft haul video as well. So this is it with all of those lovely pieces of napkin, paper napkin on it. And it's 2 days later, so fully dried out. Now, because of the way the paint dried unevenly on the back, I decided to go with the more, should we say, vintage looking, distressed look piece. Now, yes, apologies for the blurring on this. This is my hand sanding, using that sanding block just to go around the edges. Now it takes back and takes off some of the lovely white acrylic paint to reveal the wooden, the deep, lovely, warm wood underneath. Do you see what I mean there? It looks a bit more vintage, a bit worn, a bit of faded elegance, I believe. But you know, up to you. Now you may have seen us do this on a few occasions before, slightly different technique using paints, wax perhaps. If you haven't, why not check out our playlist? So all I need to do now is just go around the very edges as well, and then to do the base. Don't forget, if you're sanding, make sure that you then clean up. We just use contractors cleaning wipes here to do this, and very gently just go around the edge, getting rid of all the little bits of dust that you've created. Look at that back now. See, that looks a lot better. I think, personally, that looks a lot better. I know not very many people are going to see the back of this, but, you know, I know and I wanted it finished. So we've mixed up some epoxy resin. This is by Tea Expert, just happens to be the brand of choice at the moment that we're using. It's a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. As you can see, the black nitrile gloves are on. The Resiner's air purifier machine that we have was also on at this point. I was also wearing a respirator mask, and the windows were open in our craft space area. There we go. So at this point, I think I'd made up about 2 ounces of resin. Stirred it, obviously scraped the sides, scraped the stick, scraped the bottom, make sure everything was thoroughly mixed. Started to manipulate it. And I thought that 2 ounces, I think it was 2 ounces of resin, was going to be more than plenty. Because all I want to do is create a seal and a nice, shiny, almost glass-like effect surface for this tray, as you can see here. No bubbles, which was great. And I have to say, I really thought I was winning at this point. I thought, this is going to look fantastic, going to look really good. I put a food cover over the top of it and let it cure up. Now 24 hours later, here we go. At first inspection, I thought it looked good, and then I saw this. So this is cured unevenly. Resin will self-level as long as you've got enough resin on the piece that you're trying to put the cover on. This didn't quite work, and it pulled back away from some places of the napkins where there's got a bit of overlap. So all I'm doing now is going back in with this very soft sanding block, and then just sanded down those little rough edges and a couple of little bubbles that I did find, cleaned it up, got rid of all the dust, and then made up some more resin. And this time I'd found the heat tool, poured the resin, following the manufacturer's instructions again, poured it into the center of the tray, and then used a heat gun to very carefully manipulate the resin out to the very edges of the tray, or the platter. Let's call it a tray. So you can probably see it's moving. Now you're heating it up slightly, so it makes it a bit more liquid, because this resin was actually quite thick. And it's then just helping it. It's also helping to disperse any little bubbles that might be lurking or hiding. There we go. So just making sure it's all going round to the edges where you can probably see it going round there. So it looked lovely. I mean, you could apply a lovely like antique brass or brushed brass chain sort of for hanging up paintings and pictures and things. One bit to either side with a little eye hook in, and then hang it up on the wall as a picture. I mean, that would look beautiful too. Right, we're almost there, people, I promise. We're almost there. Decided to put some finishing wax on. So this is a very dark, this is actually, it's just called a dark finishing wax. It's by Rust-Oleum. Obviously, you use the brand that you're happy to use, but we happen to have Rust-Oleum. We found this. We haven't used this in a long time. So all I did was I dabbed my brush in the lid there and then dabbed it onto that kitchen paper towel and brushed it all over. Now, silly me, didn't fully read the instructions, didn't put enough wax on to start with, didn't leave it long enough to set up before buffing it off with a cloth, and then found, it's not doing what I expected it to do. As you can see there, it has taken back the colour slightly, so we haven't got quite so much of a stark white colour. But there you go, look, I'm rubbing it off or buffing it. So it's supposed to leave behind certain pieces of it and making sure I'm doing the sides as well and the top. But it's not quite there, so I apply more. I actually did this two times more, and this time I left it for a good 20 minutes in between each. But I think it says 10 minutes, but I left it for about 20. There we go. So it just gives it, it's not quite so bright, shiny white. It's a bit more along the lines of vintage, and a bit of a faded grandeur or elegance kind of look to it. So here we go with the microfiber cloth. We're just going to, see it's coming off slightly, but not as much as it was before. So as I say, this was the second one. I then did do this again just to make sure, knock that one over, just to make sure that it was exactly what I wanted, paying attention to the edges and also around that top rim of this tray. Now you can of course add on some handles. I'll be honest with you, I ran out of time before this video needed to be edited and the voiceover done and then uploaded to YouTube and other social media platforms. So unfortunately I haven't had the time to add in the handles, but I will at some point be purchasing some antique bronze, I think, handles just to add on and then to see what they look like. I mean, I think it would be lovely. I don't know if I'm going to add them horizontally or vertically onto the tray. So I don't know if I'm going to add them in so they are flat level with the table that you put them on, the surface that you put this on, or if I'm going to have them standing up upright. I'm really not sure just yet, but obviously you don't have to add them if you don't want to. You don't have to use this like a tray. As I said before, you could just have it sitting on a bookshelf or a window ledge. You could do the chain effect thing that I said about doing. You know, there are various things you could do here. So I did also put on some white wax because we had white wax and I thought, I wonder what this looks like. Will this make any difference? To be honest, it really didn't. So, you know, but I thought, I've got the white wax, let's just see what it looks like. Now, what I've shown you just there, now this resin is completely cured as well. I did leave it another couple of days. As I said, this was quite a lengthy project. And then decided to put some of these felt pads on the bottom. Now, these were purchased from a shop called The Range, which is a retail shop here in the UK. And they sell everything and anything, homewares, food, crafting stuff. They've got excellent crafting department. The one in Bristol where we live has anyway. I was amazed. Lots of lovely paints, canvases, all kinds of things. I think, to be honest, some of their things are better than another large hobby type shop here in the UK. But obviously everyone's opinion might be different. But very, very easy. This is to apply those felt pads. You can see the coasters just off in the top left there. Now, please try and ignore those. Those are a real labour of love. I will be coming back to those. You'll see all about those in next week's video. Fingers crossed, as long as they all work out well. The lighting, I don't know what's going on, but the pinks and the oranges and the yellows look very, very vivid in this light. But look at that attention on the sides and the top there with the wax detailing, the dark wax and the clear wax. I just think it's beautiful. Here they are with some of those napkins. This is the napkins that inspired me to do this. It's beautiful. Look at the clear shine from the resin as well. Absolutely stunning. There we are with the napkins too. We've got a lot of finishing shots with this one. I thought I'd have a go. You can see a bit of a reflection there. Apologies for that. With some beautiful pink camellia plants or flowers from our camellia tree in our garden. Look at that. It's how beautiful it can, I mean, how beautiful it can look. Absolutely stunning there. Look at that. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. The description box will give you links to all the products we've used wherever we possibly can. And we really thank everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing. You've been such a good support to us, and it's so nice as well to catch up with people in the live chat. If you had conversation and a bit of a chat going on in the live chat with us, thank you for doing that. It's always nice to be joined by people. If you just want to say, hi, I'm here, I am watching. If you've got any questions regarding this or any other videos that we've done from our playlist, please send us a message, and we will catch you again in a week's time next Sunday with the coasters, fingers crossed. Take care, everybody. Have a fabulous week. Bye-bye.